everyone. My name is Alicia Jackson, licensed professional counselor, and today we are reviewing Married at First Sight, episode 1, season 14. As we are getting started, I want to just give you a disclaimer. Normally I have a little bit more energy than this, and I don't sound like a frog. I do have COVID. So I am on the mend, so thank you for all of you who have been praying for me. I definitely appreciate it. I am on the mend. I'm much better. Last night it was rough. But best believe after I get done with this, I'm going right back to bed. But I wanted to get this video out to review last night's episode. So let's get into it. And of course, subscribe to the channel. You already know. All right, so we have the first couple that I would like to start with is Katina and Elijah Wan. So Katina and Elijah Wan, I guess how the matchmakers or experts present them as the reformed clubbers. They have had their in the nightlife, and they are trying to look for something deeper, something more meaningful, and wanting to get married. Both of them have had relationships with their fathers cut short. Katina's father was incarcerated, and Elijah Wan's father passed when he was 16 years old. So I'm thinking that they are feeling like, oh, they could maybe bond on this. And with them also wanting to, like, coming from similar lifestyles, but also wanting to get away from him, if this is going to be something that's going to help them to grow together. My concerns are that Katina has been, she has stated that she's been cheated on in the past. Elijah Wan is he called himself the Facebook crook, I believe, stating that he would meet women online, and he also went by his middle name to not get caught cheating. So I feel like potentially Elijah Wan's past is going to be unsettling for Katina. That's going to be something that's going to be a caution for her, and also cause her to not be able to potentially trust him. My hope is that he is done with his cheating ways. I do not have full confidence of this. One, it doesn't seem like he knows exactly what marriage is. He likes the idea of marriage when he was talking about it with his family at the picnic, that he's watching the marriages and he's happy seeing them, but he doesn't know what it's like to be in them or to know what it takes to be in them. He talked about wanting to take his wife to a strip club, and so it seems like he thinks his wife is going to be like a friend, and doesn't know like the responsibility of what a husband would do, like to protect a wife, provide for a wife. His friend really tried to help him and said, well, as a marriage, your wife is a part of you. And he was like, oh, but you could tell that he also didn't know like what that meant exactly. And so he seems pretty young. And so I'm a little concerned if he doesn't know exactly what marriage is or his role that he's supposed to play in the marriage, then this could be a really a hard road for them in this relationship. What I feel could be very helpful, what the experts could do in this moment, would be to definitely, I think, educate both Katina and Elijah Wan about marriage, what being in a marriage looks like, and what compromise looks like. So, for an example, Elijah Wan's hard, fast rule is that he wants his wife to cook, and that's a non-negotiable for him. And I think there are non-negotiables that we can have in a relationship, but wanting your wife to cook sounds more like a preference. And it may even be, some men do want more traditional roles, and but he's in a situation where his wife is being picked for him. And so because of that, this may need to be a wiggle room, or he may have to have some grace for her as she grows into learning how to cook, if she's willing to do so. She may say, hey, you have two hands. I think it's funny that he wants his wife to cook, but you saw in the video that in the footage at the picnic, he didn't know how to grill a hamburger. So, um, it's interesting. So I think that there needs to be a lot of talk about compromise, and then in the role of marriage, what husband and wife looks like and how they define that for themselves. It'd be great if the experts could teach them in this area so that they can learn to build a foundation for the relationship. I don't know if that's what's going to happen. I've been watching maths for a few years now. For a few years now, and I don't think that's going to happen, but that would be really helpful for them to build a foundation, understand compromise, and to see how he can meet Katina at where she is, how Katina can meet Olajuwon where he is, and then also to have patience with each other as they grow, to be what they want for themselves and for each other. So that's them. Next couple we have is Lindsay and Mark. And Lindsay and Mark are a high energy couple. Mark is definitely the life of a party. He is very, very, very family oriented, very connected with his friends. Lindsay, we see like she has a strange relationship with her mother, but still is very, very connected with her brother, her father. She is team no filter, as her friends and her family have told her. Her father was so direct with telling her, you need to think before you say things, and you need to respond instead of react. And so we'll see how that goes. But so far, not so good, as we're seeing. See, on their wedding day, she was inebriated. They're on the wedding day, which is under the influence of alcohol, and so with her not having a filter and being under the influence of alcohol, my goodness, she was saying probably things that maybe wasn't the right thing to say at the right time. When you first meet someone, or as you're getting married, it definitely made for a comical ceremony. But afterwards, as she was lying on the bench, I think Mark was taken a lot back by this behavior and some of the things that she was saying. I do feel that her direct nature is going to be a lot for Mark to digest, but he is very committed. He is very loving. He is very patient and able to adjust. So I'm curious about how this is going to transpire in their relationship. Lindsay does have some strengths. She is open-minded. She is willing to go with the flow. It's just, are you able to accept all the things that she says as she does so? That's the part that is going to be challenging. And so a lot of her behavior does seem to be on like the impulsive side. And so I do see Mark getting very fatigued with this. So what I feel could be really helpful for this couple, and for the experts to really help in this couple to grow as they're building a foundation for their relationship, is helping them both learn how to communicate. I feel like Mark may be one that would be more hesitant to communicate because of Lindsay's high energy and the things that she says. Like, it would catch him off guard and he wouldn't know what to say or how to say it. And then also to help Lindsay to develop some tact, to be able to communicate while considering, honestly and authentically as she likes to do, but just considering other people's feelings, especially her husband's, in their marriage. I think that would be helpful. And then also just for them to also be able to balance their energies, maybe when they need to take some time apart, or when they need to focus on themselves. So that is something I feel is very, very important. I do feel that also they do definitely need to talk to Lindsay about her alcohol use, to see what is in the way, or what's the function of this alcohol use, and how is it coping? How is she using it to cope? And as well. Um, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see with this couple about her lack of relationship with her mother and Mark's very, very close relationship with his mother, as she's requiring a lot of Mark's support and help as he's a caregiver for her. It'll be interesting to see how that's going to go. So we'll see more about that as time goes on. Next, we have Noy and Steve. Noy and Steve. So Noy seems to be quite the energetic sweetheart. She has this alter ego that she calls Noisy, which I thought was a very cute name, and likes to put on wigs and dance. And she talked about her family background, them being refugees and growing from humble beginnings, and still building a great foundation and honoring her parents' relationship, how they've gone through so much trauma and turmoil, but they still together after all these years, and really valuing that and wanting that for herself. And Steve is a dreamer. He quit his job. He went on this long trip and then decided to get married before getting a job. But so I am a little concerned about how Noy's going to receive a husband with no job, but it seems that he does have some financial means in order to travel the world. And he is an engineer, so he definitely has a way to get back into his field and back into his career. So my hope is that he'll be able to do so and help to focus on their relationship. I don't see a whole lot of red flags between them two right now as main concerns. I think for more of anything, just communication. I think communication would be a great thing for them to focus on, especially around the area of finances, as it's just a hot topic for couples, especially at the beginning as they're combining their lives together. So communication surrounding finances would definitely be something that I would, as an expert, focus and help this couple to work on as they are building their foundation. Next, we have Alyssa and Chris. Alyssa is 30, and she's just a cute little something. She is a dog rescuer, a cat rescuer. She's easygoing. She loves animals, loves her hobbies, loves her friends, really wants to be in a committed relationship. Chris is Mr. Monogamy. He's just in long relationship after the next. And poor thing, his mom called him out. He said, well, Mom, I'll date these women for about a year or two, and then they're like, I don't want to be in this relationship anymore. She said, well, yeah, it takes you that long to determine that. So, oh, did you have to tell him like that? But I guess she was mad at him for tricking her about being on a show about getting married at first sight. But I see the couple maybe having a struggle with their hobbies and potentially in the area of attraction. And so I would definitely, as an expert, help them to focus on how to build intimacy with getting to know each other, sharing intimate parts of each other, and that goes beyond just touch, but also being able to share of themselves with each other and sharing their hobbies with each other. As yes, you may not always like the hobby that your spouse has. Like if your spouse does something that you don't like, you sometimes have to bend a little to experience their world, to be in their world with them. And that's a part about intimacy that's so important. So I really feel that is something that may be an area for Alyssa and Chris to focus on, and then also just to find also ways that they can connect together to maybe build new hobbies together as a couple outside of, horseback riding or the extreme frisbee thing that Chris does, like something else that they do together as a couple to help them bond. Last, we have Jasmina and Michael. So Jasmina and Michael, she's Miss No Nonsense, Chris's training for love. This couple makes me a little concerned. Concerned. I think what makes me most concerned is Jasmina. She states that in the past she has been cheated on by men and connected with emotionally unavailable men, and Michael, as we saw with his friends, the feedback was that he can sometimes shut down when he needs to be emotional or when emotions come up, and that he doesn't know how to compromise. Michael seems to be hoping that this experiment is going to fix him, and so maybe it's because he believes in himself enough to be able to adjust. But this experiment isn't going to fix him. It's just going to show him more of himself. That's usually what happens in marriage. You see yourself in a light that is so clear, and it sometimes can be a little jarring at times. And so I'm hoping that Michael's up for the challenge, because marriage doesn't fix you, it shows you. And so what I believe would be really helpful as an expert to help this couple is, one, definitely teaching and giving skills on compromise and working on communication, but also emotional vulnerability, as I feel that maybe Jasmina's walls might be up as fear of being hurt, and to help Michael have communication skills in regards to that. Both of them have Jasmina has strange relationships with her parents, and Michael is dealing with grief from his parents. And so I feel like there could definitely be some way that they could bond through that, but that could also possibly potentially show up for some issues in their relationship moving forward as well. So intimacy and communication, helping Michael to be able to compromise, helping them find ways to develop trust, a great foundation, so that they can move forward, build a loving relationship. Do I feel like, I really hope that these couples do make it, but some of them have some serious things that do concern me as we continue to watch. So we shall see. Episode 1, season 14 of Married at First Sight, and continue on. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel, and see you next week.